Hello, my name is Jerry Cabazzuto from godislovetruthlife.com or godislovetruthfreedom.com because a life without freedom is not a life worth living. I am also the lead organizer for Soundpath.org, an online truth and freedom music festival coming at you with headliner, conscious rapper, amazing human Joe Murray. Welcome.
Hey, Jerry, thank you so much for having me on. Appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. And I guess want to talk about the fact that you're going to be headlining for us. You had an album come out this year, and we're so excited to have you perform with our other headliner, Brendan Daniel, at Arnold's on August 31st from 8 to 11 p.m. So anyone can get tickets now. And yeah, tell me about your album and maybe other work that you're doing now.
So the album that I recently put out, I mean, well, it's actually 7, 8 months ago now. It's called Ultima Ratio. That's how you pronounce it. Pronounce it for those who don't know. And that stands for the last reasoning of the people. I believe that's the correct definition for it. I heard the phrase in a Mark Passio presentation, and I thought to myself, that's a dope name for either a song title or an album, and that stuck with me for a while. And I started creating the album in like I don't know, late 2020 or like early 2021, and I had a bunch of ideas at the time. I was on like a creative wave. I was putting out a bunch of singles with Diesel and Polar, The White, and my own stuff. And I didn't have that much in my arsenal at the time. It was just my catalog was starting to grow a little bit musically. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna, instead of just consistently dropping singles, I'll put together an album. I had a bunch of instrumentals that I was listening to at the time, and I started to organize them in a way that made sense to me for an album. And I just started to pursue that. But there was a couple of like setbacks at the time, financial situations that were going on that prevented me from like purchasing the rest of the instrumentals. Like I purchased those beats like from producers that I've come to like over the years, from doing this. And so you got to pay for the beats. Those on that album, those aren't my own instrumentals. Those are other people's. I shout them out in the descriptions on my videos and stuff. So I had a financial setback, and I had a lot going on. It was like the height of the scamdemic at the time, and I really wanted to I wanted to speak out on that, and try to get the message of not only what the hell was going on with that and the scam that was, but to try to reach people with the message of like true anarchism, rights, freedom, objective morality, natural law. I felt like if there was ever a time for people like us to put that message out, like that was the window of
Right,
opportunity for us. So
right.
I created like I got two different podcasts going on. Like I said, I did a bunch of music videos. What else did I do? Organize. I wound up organizing a conference, co-organizing a conference with James Cordner. Uh,
James is awesome.
yeah, I love James. That's my boy. That's my boy. He's been there for me through my darkest times, man. He's been there for me, reaching out to me, making sure I'm okay.
Oh,
Great guy. Great guy. Um, but yeah, so I got into doing that, and I was interviewed a bunch of times, on other people's podcasts I was doing. So I kind of put that on hold, and then when I finally decided to pick it back up again and pursue it, I wound up getting, laid up for 2 years. Just about 2 years. I went through an absolute like hell nightmare that I can't even like. I'll never even be able to put into words. Like I feel like I died 1,000 deaths
Wow.
Um, Went through absolute hell. Oh man, there's a stray dog over here running in the middle of the street. People trying to grab it, running around my car. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Got to be right in front of my car.
Of
Sorry.
course, while you're interviewing, you're also a dad, you're an artist, you're, you know, doing all these things, and you still made time to do an interview. So thank you so much.
Oh, no doubt, of course. Much respect to you and what you're doing, and the festival that you're putting together. Mad love, mad respect.
Well, yeah, I mean, I respect you. You're doing all these activities with, your podcast, your music. You're also a parent. You have you have to find a means to pay the bills during the day, and you're producing your own music, and you're involved in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, now I took a like the podcast stuff. I don't think I'm gonna like pursue like anymore. Like for interviews and stuff like this, I'm definitely 100% down to do whenever. But the podcast thing for me, like I felt like I said, I think like that was like the window of time, like to try to put a real message out. It really wasn't my thing. I got to be honest with you. I don't even like hearing the sound of my own voice if it ain't on music. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. The podcast thing, the presentation thing, that's not really like my avenue. I did it because I felt like I had to at the time, but the music thing is my shit. That's where my heart is at, and I think that's where my calling is at. So I'm more or less just focused on that like from here on out. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
But yeah,
similarly.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. So like at the moment, I just finished dropping this album, and then um, been working on a project with Diesel too, which we were doing at the same time that I was working on this album too, along with all the other shit that I had going on. And that got set back for many different reasons. Some legal issues and me getting sick and like a bunch of different fucking things going on. Sorry, can I curse on here? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, totally. I think it's just sort of a way to exhale and just release. I'm glad that you're doing that.
Oh, okay. So but anyways, like getting back to like with the album, like I already had a couple songs like recorded, and then once I started to recover from my illness, if you want to call it that, um, I like as soon as I started to feel like the littlest bit better, everything started to come back to me, the creative juices and my motivation to want to do something again, and I just decided to wrap it up, and I took my time with it, mixing everything down, making sure everything sounded good, and yeah, put it out in like I think it's like late November. I dropped it,
Awesome.
and yeah, I'm proud of it. I put a lot of thought behind like every bar, every song, and a lot of effort, a lot of energy and effort and time into that, and mixing it. There's so much that goes into that shit. I don't think a lot of people understand that don't do music. It's very very tedious and time consuming, and you almost gotta like sometimes you gotta push yourself like to really get into it, and do just a little bit each day, and then once you start to get in the groove a little bit, you build momentum, and then you just go with the flow. But yeah, so that's out. There's like 10 tracks, 11 tracks on there, and every song, I like every song on there, to be honest with you, and I think it came out great. It's sad that it doesn't get the views that it should, you know, like not that I really even give a shit about that. I just want the message to get out there, you know, but
Right.
um, in my opinion, it should have way more views and traffic than what it's getting. But I don't doubt that I'm being shadow banned, you know, for talking about the shit that I'm talking about.
Seriously, dude, like I was trying to find your YouTube channel by searching once cuz I'm just subscribed to a bunch of channels, right? And I had difficulty locating you. But I remembered the title of some of your songs, and so I wrote that in, and that's how I was able to reconnect with your page through the songs and then clicking on the channel name. So it was like yeah, really, I mean, dude, I think a lot of us in the especially natural law community, we're really on the pulse of actual reality and truth, and just the force of love and light in this world, uh the actual spiritual war we're in. And they know that, and they have their little algorithms to censor. But this is why we're putting on a music festival with music we want to listen to. We don't have to listen to what they pre-program us through the radio to listen to, right? Like and yeah, we're just so excited to feature your work, to gain that visibility for all that hard work you've put in. I can tell. I'm not a rapper. I'm more of a sort of singer, you know, rock vocalist type. But I definitely appreciate just the sound engineering. You have a very clean sound. Like every instrumental aspect is very crisp. Your, I mean, it's and the lyricism, of course, but we'll get into that. What song did you want to start off with?
I guess the first song, "I Am," you know, I feel like that's sets the tone like for the whole album. You know what I mean? And that's you know, I just come out the gates like swinging, you know, and laying the truth down, you know, and going hard. So I particularly like, I like them all, but I don't know, that one kind of stands out more to me, you know, because it goes hard, you know, and it's a very powerful. If you read the lyrics, listen to the lyrics, a very powerful song. So I would pick that.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I'm going to pull it up now. Sorry, I didn't have it downloaded, so I'm just sort of like getting it queued up here. And I think I have it, and then we'll share. And then if any moderators in the chat can let me know if the sound drops out or something, we're going to try this. Share screen. Share audio. Okay. Also share audio. Yes. Okay. Are you hearing the audio?
Yes, like it's
Awesome.
low, but I hear it a little bit.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Oh man. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Get up. Yeah. 2022. You know what we do. Time to set this shit off. Yo, who am I? The soul that's been sent to wage war against the forces of darkness, healing with slave law. Who am I? Brave heart, answering the warrior's call to reignite the flame and all that still contain the spore. Who am I? Spirit in the flesh, here to manifest the will of the divine, tearing down the set of this matrix, shattering your illusions with the ruthless root awakening to snap you out of your confusion. Who am I? I'm the lion's roar, pulling your blinders off to the fire one. No, the blinders off on my own oppression, so I own a weapon to exercise the inherent right of my own protection. action against those aggressing. So those stepping over that line to test me, you're gonna learn a lesson. Not the fuck when a man willing to die for the freedom of his baby. You think you seem crazy? I am the voice of truth, the light, the way. Out of the dark into the light of day. I am a warrior, serving the creator, an incarnation aware of his true nature. I am a spirit that's born to fight on the front lines. I am free of the physical form. I am the torch and go for the rebel line. I am that eternal flame that never dies. I'm a motherfucking rebel with a cause, heavenly deployed to bring back the head of the devil on the sword. Who am I? I'm a settle the score, heavenly on, ready for war, defending the war, God with deadly force. Who am I? Unruly, uncontainable, untamable, unrestrainable vessel, here to convey the truth, lyrically flammable, bringing the pain like pain to disable whoever tried to stop me from what I came to do. I'm a force to be reckoned with thoughts that's a threat to the established disorder that I'm upset. Check it, I'll be the escort for evil and meet their master. I'm the presence that enters the room and makes demons scatter. Who am I? I'm the feeling that you get in the pit of your gut when you no longer give a fuck and you're willing to stand up and put it all out on the line to fight to be free, no matter the odds. With no more doubt in your mind. I am the voice of truth, the light, the way. Out of the dark into the light of day. I am a warrior, serving the creator, an incarnation aware of his true nature. I am a spirit that's born to fight on the front lines. I am free of the physical form. I am the torch and go for the rebel line. I am that eternal flame that never dies.
Y'all I can't hear you, Darian.
Oh my God, I forgot I muted myself. I just said, wow, I love that song. Sorry. Yeah, I unmuted myself. Sorry. I have like my partner, St. John, is my de facto producer, and just amazing partner in life. You know, sometimes I take the helm on projects and sometimes he takes the helm on projects, but we're a team. Anyway, so yeah, my audio is good now. Yeah, tell me about that song. I feel so pumped. I just want to let you know, leading up to this interview, I was sort of feeling this sense of just, now I don't want to go into personal details, but just like a sort of like reflection moment of just like a lot of chaos. And then like, you know, you can get kind of defeated when you have circumstances you can't control. And this song is just like, fuck that. Like, I love that shit. Can you hear me? Oh my God.
I'm sorry, you cut out just right at the end.
Oh, my bad. Okay, I was just saying the song in summary, this song has me pumped. Tell me more.
Well, you know, I always try to, like, you know, if I'm going to do a project, there's always like a specific order that, you know, I like to put things in that makes sense to me. And always like the first couple of songs, first 2 or 3, gotta come at people like hard, you know, aggressive, and display. It's got to set the tone, like I said, like for the rest of the album. So like really feel like I really gotta showcase my lyrical skills and who I am and what I'm about, like right off the bat, you know. So that song, like once I found that beat, I was like, oh man, that is such a fire beat. Like I got to do some damage on there. And you know, I was just driving around listening to it for a little bit, and then slowly but surely things started to come to me. And you know, I had this idea, like, since it's gonna be like, I felt like that would be like the opening joint because that beat was like so dope to me. It's probably my favorite instrumental out of the bunch. I'm like, I gotta open with this. Well, what can I talk about? And then it just started to come to me, like, tell you who you are, you know, explain who you are, you know, and let people know the deal, who you are, what you stand for, showcase your lyrical abilities. And yeah, I came at it as, you know, try to come at it as hard as I could, you know, and as aggressive as I could with it. And,
yeah, dude, you accomplished that. I love that strobe sort of at this sort of like high strobe sound, and then the angelic singing. and then your lyrics and just that heavy, like, I felt like you were just like coming down to just like kill demons. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you break a sweat. I mean, to say the least, definitely. Like, you know, I get wild with it. I might knock a stand over, you know, as I'm doing it, but you know, that's just my style. I am aggressive, you know. Like I feel that like that passion. It just makes me, when I think of lyrics, I'm out to like murder the beat, you know. I wanna set the mic on fire. I'm not, you know, but at the same time, put the message to me, of course, is the most important. But I'm trying to be like the nastiest lyrical MC that, you know, that ever did it at the same time. So I'm giving it all I got on every track, you know, especially when I hear a beat like that. It's just like, you know, I want to tear it down. So, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. What do you feel called to play next, or did you want to take turns with songs, or how
Sure,
did you want to do
I
this?
mean, yeah, you could pick one. That's cool with me.
Yeah. So I really like, I'm going to go with this Natural Law song that you did with Diesel. I really enjoyed it.
Sure.
So here we go. And I'm so excited to hear that you guys are working together and are releasing something in November, you said?
Most likely in November. I know it keeps getting pushed back, and I keep announcing that, yeah, it's coming, but bigger things are coming because certain situations have played out in a way like, I mean, I can't say because it's, you know, it's on Diesel to put it out publicly, but
right.
A lot of good shit is coming in the very near future, like from me and him, and we'll be able to actually do things in person, and you know, nothing but good shit coming. But that is coming definitely before the end of this year. I'll put it like that.
Cool, awesome. Okay, here we go. Natural Law with Joe Murray featuring, or excuse me, I guess this is Diesel's track featuring you, Joe Murray.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Try to say that I'm a criminal, now they wanna judge me. What gives somebody the right for them to stand above me? To make a decision on punishment they think is best for me? What qualifies someone to determine my destiny? You finished law school, graduated Harvard, and you aced the bar exam, so I guess that makes you a flawless man. Someone godlike, unbiased with clear morals, capable of judging the rest of us mere mortals. Did the creator grant you superiority as the ultimate human moral authority? Where do laws come from? Who's creating them? Corporations making a fortune, or people breaking them? You want the truth? Just follow the paper trail. Companies are profiting off millions locked away in jail. Laws not from God, greedy people made it. Even Hitler's Holocaust follow laws that he created. The justice system is factually flawed. It undermines the principles of natural law. God's been erased and replaced by the government. Judgment means nothing if it's not enforced with punishment. And punishment can only be implemented through violent force if you have not consented. The government is the greatest perpetrator of crimes against the universal
I stay in
creator.
service to truth and freedom in a small minority, and understand my inherent sovereignty, so I reject all authority. I serve the one and only, no phony trying to play him. I don't speak your legalese, don't stand under what you're saying, claiming a right to force me into conformity with your decrees. From whom did you obtain this right to be the boss of me? A free man, don't need permission from another man to exercise his birthrights. We're part of unalienable, don't you understand? Your stance is morally relativistic and solipsistic, cause all man's laws are the arbitrary decisions of politicians, backed by the threat of violence on no legitimate grounds. Universal moral law, the only law by which we're bound, and if we want freedom we must accept what's objectively so, that we collectively reap what we collectively sow. That's how it goes, that's why I put the truth forth and all I bring. What goes around comes around, life's regs, natural laws
The
king.
injustice system is factually flawed. It It undermines the principles of natural law. God's been erased and replaced by the government. Judgment means nothing if it's not enforced with punishment. And punishment can only be implemented through violent force if you have not consented. The government is the greatest perpetrator of crimes against the universal creator. The injustice system is factually flawed. It undermines the principles of natural law. God's been erased and replaced by the government. Judgment means nothing if it's not enforced with punishment. And punishment can only be implemented through violent force if you have not consented. The government is the greatest perpetrator of crimes against the universal creator.
Wow. Yeah, tell me about this collaboration.
I mean, not to pat ourselves on the back here, but can we say that's like arguably the realest like hip hop song ever? That's such a dope track. That's one of my favorite songs I ever did.
Yeah, you pretty much condensed what some people take at least a day-long seminar, say decades of teaching, to do in one track.
See, and that's why like I feel like I'm the most effective like with the music thing, because like a podcast and when I'm on the fly, I don't feel like I'm as effective at like and some people say otherwise, but I don't feel like I'm as effective at like putting the message out as I would be when I sit and take the time and put it in lyrical form like that, because I feel like I'm good at cramming in as much what I want to say, as much of it as possible, and make sense out of it. I'm good at formatting it like that when I sit and take the time to really map out like what I want to say and how I want to say it. And I think that's like the most effective way. Like you said, I mean, there's so much between the both of our verses. I mean, that's literally like everything you need to know. You know what I'm saying? It's in one song. It just lays out the problem and the solution. Done deal.
Right.
Like a balanced track. That was in 2020. That was height of the whole COVID crap, and he sent that beat over to me with his verse already on it, and with the hook, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta kill this shit. And we put that together. That's one of his boys made that beat, and Polar the White made the lyric video. Came together beautifully.
Oh, that's lovely how you all came together for this song. Yeah, the visuals were great too, and I love the way the lyrics were sort of dancing on the screen in a way. Such powerful philosophical concepts condensed in lyrical format, and it sounds good too, and I was dancing to it. Like, what I mean, if the rhetoric stage were sort of, set up like martial arts, like y'all are black belts. Like, that's just high level rhetoric right there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's incredible too, man. He's definitely my favorite MC. He's just he's so talented, man, and he comes with it every time, every song, every verse. He lays the law down every time too. It's amazing how like even like the three of us came together. Like me, him, and Polar doing mainly like the video editing and stuff. It's a good trio, a good combination. It's great.
I love when you can find just people you immediately click with, especially artistically as well as philosophically. That's difficult to achieve.
Yeah, I mean, I hit it off with Diesel like immediately. I met, I was introduced to him through Mark Devlin. Actually, Mark Devlin had us on like his birthday podcast, and we exchanged like contact information, and then we hit it right off, and just the chemistry was just there instantly. We both were into the same shit, same like artists. We're even very similar, I would say, in styles, and yeah, it comes very natural to us, like when we're collaborating for a song, like not much needs to be said or directed. It's just it's magic every time, and I love it. I love working with the dude.
Absolutely. Cool. Do you want to pick a song next to talk about?
Sure.
This is fun. I've never done this format with.
Let me think. You know what? I like Alliance of Defiance with Polar the White.
I love that you said that because I did download that one. So here we go.
You've come to fight as 3 men, and 3 men you are. Tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Our rights not depend on emotions and feelings, let alone the distractions of political opinions. With politicians pitching a dangerous rhetoric, better know the fundamental principles and get ahead of it. Each and every one of us is free to practice liberty. God created freedoms and we are his utilities. I with all ability, I with all humility, exalt the name of Jesus, book of John 16:33. Even as our enemies willingly plot to murder thee, death comes to time while Christ grants eternity. Cause it ain't a war, it's a strategized conquest. Fake news, false laws, deception and that wokeness. I encourage you to get your Bible, faith and firearms. Knowledge comes with patience, what is written is that will be done. They hope to entrap you so you stay compliant. Stumbling on your rights together is the
we got this rap shit down lyrically to a science. Free your minds with the rhymes that we be devising. So be advised of these societal pariahs in massing in alliance of defiance. Encourage a worldwide mass non-compliance. A message dividing the sheep from the lions. With the motto, death to all tyrants as we unite and alliance on the fuck about a revolution. Yeah, bring out the resolution. We 2 MCs bringing the truth with empowering solutions in unison. Cause 2 heads is better than 1. Taking hip-hop to a level that's never been done. By elevating your metal, you recommend you get your guns and be ready wherever you're from. Cause in this tyranny, you never know when you gotta grab it. And it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I'm packing a whole arsenal of pistols and rifles, accepting bullets the size of fucking miniature missiles. We official, kid, representing the real dissonance. Willing to physically resist against this control system, which takes a mile when you give an inch. That's why we're never giving in or caving, not even a little bit. Shit, we choose dangerous freedom over complacent slavery at the price of remaining individually vigilant. We got this rap shit down lyrically to a science. Free your minds with the rhymes that we be devising. So be advised of these societal pariahs in massing in alliance of defiance. Encourage a worldwide mass non-compliance. A message dividing the sheep from the lions. With the motto, death to all tyrants as we unite in alliance of defiance.
Oof, another one. That was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I see like instrumentals like that, like on my shit. It's like boom bap, heavy drums.
Yeah.
I like a heavy drum sound, a heavy snare sound, and but like it's a little more modernized. Yeah, beats like that I love because I love going off on them. I could really get crazy with it lyrically. And yeah, like songs like that. He's trying to let people know, like, and throughout the whole album, I'm so aggressive with it mainly because, you know, I really want to get the message across. Like, we take this shit for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not,
Yeah.
we're not just fucking talking about it and we're, you know, just keyboard warriors or just putting out a song to try to get views and a following. Like, we're about freedom, dude. We're, you know, we understand where we're at as a species. We're not comfortable where we are. We find that our situation unacceptable, and we're willing to do whatever the fuck we gotta to change the shit. We got kids. You know, we understand that we're in a state of slavery and we want out. You know, we're actually about it. We're not, you know what I'm saying? We don't just talk the fucking good game. We're trying to do something about it, and we're the people that, you know, if shit gotta get physical, we'll do whatever the fuck we gotta do, you know?
Right. Yeah, no, I love everything you said. And yeah, this alliance of defiance, you know, we need to just come together and say no together. I'm not also interested in sitting idly for views just to, I'm not out here to be a baby celebrity. You know, we're here to change minds. We want to change the human condition. And like you said, I think a huge motivator for me is the fact that I have children, that I have a personal reason to do the right thing for the next generations.
Yes. You know, that's what really, like, even amped it up for me was when my daughter was born. It was, you know, I was already, you know, it might not have been, like, out on the internet, but, like, in my own personal sphere, I was relentless with talking. I've lost jobs over it. I've lost friends over it. Family members wouldn't talk to me anymore over it. Because, like, every chance I had to speak the truth, I did. And it would upset people. And they would think I'm too aggressive. And, you know, and so, you know, when my daughter was born, it was like, all right, now, like, this kid cannot live in these kind of, I don't want her to, you know, I want her to fucking be able to live a decent life and enjoy, you know, be free. Like, this, it was getting worse and worse at the time. And she was like 1 when the fucking COVID crap went down. And then it really, like, kicked shit in gear for me. I'm like, all right, fuck this. I gotta step up my shit here and put out as much content in every way as I could. But yeah, man, definitely big motivators as a kid.
Yeah, for sure. I because of this conversation, I feel called to play I Fought for You.
Sure.
Yeah. Here we go.
You're breaking daddy's heart, G. You're getting so big too fast. Come here for a second, babe. I want to tell you something. From the moment I saw your face, I was struck with a love I never felt before. So pure, and I never felt so sure of who I really was and what my true purpose is. Why I'm even breathing, the very reason I was put on this earth to live, to serve as your father, an honor gifted by the God of all creation. And I'm forever indebted to its greatness, amazed that I was blessed with this beautiful baby girl, someone I'm to raise and protect in this absolutely crazy world. And when I say crazy, it's an understatement. A madhouse where everyone seems to become complacent, when immorality live in the service of man instead of God's will, which has been blocked in their mentality deliberately by those who don't want us to know our divinity. So we look outward for answers, giving them our energy. Yet there's beauty to be found in everything. Every day I'm here to show you how it all works, and trust me when I say I fought for you. I saw the state of the world, where it was going, took a stand for what was right, wasn't having it from no one. I fought for you. While everybody stayed silent and complied, that's when I spoke my mind and went against the tide. I fought for you. I stood up and looked this world in the eyes, ready to die for you, kiddo. I put my life on the line. I fought for you, and it was well worth the battle, cause it was all for you. I just want you to know it ain't easy when the world thinks you're crazy and you become an outcast. But I believe I was chosen and given the strength to outlast. Especially when you came, it altered every choice I made. Then I stood up and spoke the truth. Even when my voice was shaking, I lost friends and family just trying to point out their own insanity. It took the man in me to take a stand and be the change that this world so desperately needed. When those I loved couldn't see it, I refused to stand defeated. Your world with no freedom was the biggest fear of my life. I'd sit back watching you play with tears in my eyes, knowing if I didn't get up and fight, you wouldn't have a future. So I played my part and left great works for you to review, my little one. And the rest, you'll learn as you go. You'll learn and you'll grow and feel that fire burn in your soul. Cause you came from me, so you better know that you're something special. God blessed you, but you'll be tested too, just letting you know I fought for you. I saw the state of the world, where it was going, took a stand for what was right, wasn't having it from no one. I fought for you, while everybody stayed silent and complied. That's when I spoke my mind and went against the tide. I fought for you, I stood up and looked this world in the eyes, ready to die for you, kiddo. I put my life on the line. I fought for you, and it was well worth the battle, cause it was all for you. I just want you to know, Daddy fought for you. I really did, my sweetheart. Even when it was uncomfortable, even when relationships were on the line, even when my income was on the line, I stood up and spoke the truth and fought for what was right. With you on my mind through it all. You were my inspiration, you were my drive, you are my purpose. And I love you to death, kiddo. Never forget it, never forget it, never forget it.
Um, I don't want to go too much into personal detail, but I will say that that song in particular has been on repeat for me because I feel less alone as a conscious parent fighting for what's right, not just for my kids, but for all kids. And so I really thank you for making this song because it's really helped me through some tough times.
Damn, man, you gotta make me cry, dude. Shit. Thank you. That means a lot. That really means a lot. I mean, that's it's incredible that I could even impact somebody like that, man. That's incredible. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. And I'm happy that it helped you in any way.
Yeah, again, without going into too much detail, this is not going to be like a normal, fucking an interview. Like, I was like, oh, I'll make sure to ask him what his influences are, and any like sort of like liner notes, and just like, you know what, like we're all gonna die. Like, let's just be honest with each other about what's really going on in the world and in our lives, and let's just have authentic conversations, and it's like, I haven't. Like, outside of 9/11 and the COVID pandemic, I haven't really had direct personal interactions with the system until recently, and it's been involving my family. And I don't want to go into detail about it, but order followers have been involved in the situation, and it's just been completely traumatic and awful. And it just gives me fire, like, to just do this shit even more. Like, I'm gonna fucking do the one great work as much as I can. I'm not gonna let them stop me. They're trying to distract me. Like, fuck it. Like, put me in situations where, anyway, so I don't want to go into it, but yeah, like the system is the battlefield is personal for me now.
Yeah, I mean,
I've experienced it.
Once you get like personal experience with it and you realize like how cold these motherfuckers are. Like it's a machine, and it it'll change you, Like even the biggest supporters of the police, like once they get a bad experience with these motherfuckers, I guarantee you it's gonna fucking change their mind, Like there's gonna come a point in time where they're gonna say it. Things continue on this trajectory. I don't care if you're the biggest fucking cop sucker. Once you fucking, once these people rub you the wrong way, you're gonna have a rude awakening. Things continue down this path, you're definitely gonna see some ugly shit from people that you supported, and maybe then, and which it might be too late at that point, you start to fucking reevaluate your belief systems. But yeah, it's the system it's it's disgusting. It's unacceptable. Like the way things are ran, what they're doing to us. Like the overreach is it's just unbelievable, man. And especially with everything that's going on now, currently geopolitically, and here, in the States, like the absolute political dog and pony show. How anybody listens to a fucking word that these people say, especially after the whole Epstein thing with Trump. Like, are you like, bro? The mental gymnastics you people got to be doing to still support any of this shit is incredible. It's got to be incredible,
Yeah, I really, I was actually hanging out, with St. John, my partner, and at Mark Passio's house, and wrestling was playing, like pro wrestling. And I was like, this shit's more honest than like politics, because it's like, they're acting, you know? Like, for some reason, people don't see that the politicians that they see on TV are also acting, but for some reason they believe the performance. It's just bizarre to me that it's not. Anyway, but yeah, it's one thing to read about tyranny, it's one thing to research it, and it's another thing to live it. And in that way, I am grateful for the lesson. It's a learning.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, to speak about like the acting and how it's it is like pro wrestling. Like it used to be better, more convincing. Like like in the early I mean, at least you had like they used to try a little harder. Like now it's so ridiculous. Like how the fuck are you people believing these people? Like it's so like Trump. Like I don't even want to get into the whole Trump thing. The past couple
Yeah.
of podcasts I've been on. I got into it, but it's so ludicrous, and like that motherfucker don't even try to put on a front like he's for freedom and for rights and true prosperity. Like, bro, it's such a joke. So like, if this guy could con all you motherfuckers, like the next douchebag puppet that comes along, like I mean, you'll fall for it again. If you thought like this guy was like cream of the crop, anti-establishment, holy shit, like. What won't you fucking people fall for? Crazy. It's beyond pro wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Finish.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I've really in sort of formatting my children correctly, I really, make a point of having them understand what government actually means and is. And, there are child-friendly sort of content out there, like Larkin Rose's Tiny Dot video. That's a very simple explanation of why government is slavery and ridiculous.
That makes you. I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's like that video just points out like how ludicrous it actually is that like all these people are being controlled by literally like a fucking handful of people just falling in line like sheep to a sheepdog. It's crazy.
Right. And it's like literally you can get a 5-year-old to understand it. You know, like it's like it's possible. I do feel, especially going back to your song, the next generations. I feel very hopeful with the formatting, the positive formatting that we can do. You know, so yeah. Were you
Got
able
cut
to?
off there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
It could be my mic. I don't know. I was just saying I feel a certain level of hope, positive, when I work with the younger generations because of their formatting. Specifically, I'm raising two kids in their formative years. So,
Right.
working with them, working with their friends, that's it's so much easier to just share information when there's no programming to navigate through.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Little things I try to explain to my daughter at this time. She's still too young, to really comprehend anything, that's of any like real value. I was just trying to teach her right from wrong and why not to behave certain ways and do certain things. But little things I'll slip in there, like with the diet, and now she's starting to ask questions of like, about eating. Like she's like, wait a minute, so a chicken, we're actually eating like the chicken? Yeah, that's what it is. She's like, I don't want to eat it anymore. Like we raised her a vegetarian, and then when I got sick, my girl was like pretty much left on her own devices. She's like, listen, I couldn't get her to eat. I had to do what I had to do. I'm like, whatever. I said all I could say on the issue, and I did all I could do about it, and it is what it is. But now I lead by example. You know what I'm saying? I show her like I'm not touching that, and you want to follow me. You say you love animals, you don't want to harm them, then, come to, understand the things that I'm talking about and see what I do, and, hopefully she'll follow. But yeah, I mean, it's got to start when they're young, like at that age, you got to start really interjecting like objective morality and explaining these things to them. And showing them the fact that, look, these people who call themselves government, like the police, like they don't have any exemptions from right and wrong. What applies to us applies to everybody, every human soul. You know what I'm saying? Very
Absolutely.
important. I mean, and you don't have the time really to do that, or you're combating the program if they're in school. You know what I'm saying? If they're in public school, it's a lot to combat. If you're gonna send them off to, the indoctrination center and then try to teach them natural law at the same time, it's a lot. You're going against the programming,
Right. Yeah. What do you feel called to play next? I have the Order Followers song that you've done queued up if you want to talk about Order Followers.
Sure. Why not?
Cool.
My favorite people.
Yeah, and I honestly had difficulty deciding what songs to download because you have so many. You're so prolific. So amazing work. Yeah. Over, as they say. All right, here we go.
Yeah, it's time we talk about the real motherfucking threat. Cause when tyranny shows up at your door to be wearing a badge with a gun, Murray, pulling a motherfucking time to kick the harsh truth, which you can't seem to comprehend mentally. We're talking about the bane of the 21st century, not the puppets on the string, the muppets up in office who get issued additional orders, but them punks who enforce them and manifest in existence. The tyranny we witness, the strong arm for the politicians, and brutal forces for the system out to squash any resistance. Responsible for every form of totalitarianism that ever existed. Don't get it twisted, placing the blame on the deep state. Believe in the alleged elites take your freedom, cause it ain't called the banker state, politician state, or a judge state. Stupid as it's called the police state. The ones coming for your guns, extorting you for revenue over victimless acts. Yet you place them on a pedestal as they subdue your rights naturally and constitutionally. With qualified immunity to murder with impunity. Still you believe they're out to guard the freedom of your foolish ass? To serve and protect, yeah, you mean the ruling class. A costume and a badge don't grant you extra rights. Just following orders, the excuse of all democide. Time to identify your real enemy before the day comes when the state begins sending a police force door to door, strapped like the Marine Corps. Then you'll see just what the fuck you need an AR-15 for. The followers, the ones coming for your rights, threatening your life when they throwing them lights. For the followers, they be the boots on the ground, enforcers of the new world order in your town. For the followers, the standing army for the system, nothing more than attack dogs for the politicians. For the followers, out to punish and enslave with no empathy. Time to know your enemy. For the followers.
911, what's your emergency?
These motherfuckers shooting, they all trying to murder me.
Who's trying to kill you?
It's these crooked ass cops. I got my piece loaded and I'm about to bust a Tupac.
Sir, please calm down, don't resort to any violence.
What the heck you mean? This is self-defense, I'm frightened.
Why are they shooting? Did you commit a crime?
Nah, I made a bunch of songs that the government don't like.
Well, sir, the police are just doing their jobs, and you sound like a criminal from the way that you talk.
Well, in that case, anyone in America can be classified as domestic terrorist.
Yeah, that's true, it's called the Patriot Act.
I know you fucking asshole, I'm just stating the fact.
We can't have people like you talking or protesting, thinking you have rights, you're not an exception. Any law created, they will enforce in any way. Even if immoral, it's followed to get paid.
The followers, the ones coming for your rights, threatening your life when they throwing them lights. For the followers, they be the boots on the ground, enforcers of the new world order in your town. For the followers, the standing army for the system, nothing more than attack dogs for the politicians. For the followers, out to punish and enslave with no empathy. Time to know your enemy. For the followers.
Yeah.
And a classic from not too long ago. I love that song, especially there's almost like a dramatic element with the back and forth with the 911 dialogue. It's like it's so interesting to change up the sort of way of sharing a verse.
Yeah, that was cool the way he put that down. He actually, like, the first go around, like, he sent me something different, and then he's like, you know, he reached back out to me, he's like, scratch that, I have a different idea, I'd rather take this approach, and I like it. I love it. I mean, for a good song, great song.
Oh yeah. Again, for those that are listening in, very grateful that Joe Murray is able to be part of this live stream so that we can talk about his work, talk about Soundpath. August 31st, Joe Murray and Brendan Daniel are going to be performing at Arnold's Family Fun Center in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Tickets are on sale at soundpath.org. So yeah, we're just going over your music. And yeah, that song really, my partner John said it's by far his favorite song for you.
Oh, nice. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt it was important to say something about those people, you know, because, listen, if we're just like, we're not going to lie to ourselves and just get down to the real nitty gritty, they are the enforcers of the whole shit. Anyone
Right.
talking about the New World Order and the agendas that are at play, if you don't understand that the police and the military are the ones who are literally, like they're enforcing it and they're manifesting it. You know, like the politicians, yeah, you could point your fingers at them all you want, but in reality, they physically aren't doing shit other than saying some bullshit and, you know, bull crap fucking place or whatever, but they're not out enforcing that shit. If they didn't have these people, you know, enforcing their will, like, how would it happen? You know, like, They're the problem. And the people who support that shit are the problem.
Yeah, I
A
completely
lot of
agree.
people don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah. I find it interesting that we're getting audio issues when we're talking about order followers. If you can still hear me, I know that we're coming. Oh, we can hear you now. Sorry, we cut out. You cut out for a second.
Oh, okay.
Um, do you want to recap what you said in the past, like 30 seconds or so?
Sure. I was just saying, like, this is like a tough pill for people to swallow. It's a very touchy subject when you start to talk about the police, and I feel like it's not emphasized enough. Like, no one on the right who claims to be about freedom, and essentially no one that I've ever came across, who claims to be about freedom and rights and standing for the Second Amendment, like, nobody recognizes, like, identifies or speaks out against the fact, like, that the police are the ones who are literally enforcing the will of the politicians. All these fucking bullshit laws that you supposedly stand against, and all the bullshit legislation, all the red tape they got everyone, tied up in. Who enforces it? It ain't the fucking politicians. It's these people. And if you can't recognize that, like, when people say, oh, well, it ain't them, it's it's their job, they're just doing their job, it's coming down from on high, like, so what are they, fucking robots then? They just do whatever the fuck they're told, and oh, well, that's their job. They standard you're going to hold these people to? They don't have minds of their own? Apparently not. They don't have minds of their own. But the point of the song and trying to emphasize on this point is to point out, like, yo, these people are the enforcers of slavery. They are the enforcers of the New World Order.
Right.
Like, it is literally that. You could point your finger at the politicians all you want. They have zero power if they don't have any enforcement arm.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was talking at one of our ARC book club meetings. I started this, for those that are unaware, I forget what ARC actually stands for. I think it's called Amazing Repository of Knowledge, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. From Mark Passio, if you send him a 2 terabyte drive, he'll send you 2 terabytes of books, audiobooks, videos, just audio, just podcasts, everything. And so, yeah, we started a book club for this, and in one of these book club meetings, we were talking about, who is to blame, and it's definitely like the person taking the action. If one can have a thought, one can have a feeling about a thought, but if it's up to the individual to have alignment with their thoughts, emotions, and actions or not, but it's the action that matters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Talking is one thing, and like, yeah, the politicians, like, they are culpable for sure for manipulating people and being a part of the whole fucking circus, and believing that they have any kind of authority over you or anybody. They're definitely culpable, but they're not physically doing anything to anybody. They're not physically imposing their will. They're not getting their hands dirty. These people are the police, the military. These are the ones enforcing their bullshit so-called laws and fighting their, immoral, unjustified wars. Setting up an empire all over the world. Like, and it's so difficult for people to come to terms with that. They just, like, their support for these people is just, like, unquestioning. And that's very scary because that's what needs to change in people's minds, in their hearts. Like, they got to recognize these people as the enemy, and that it's so difficult because they have family members, close friends that are a part of this shit.
Yeah.
And that's what discourages me is when I look at when I take a look at that, you know, and the undying support for these people, it's like, damn, how the fuck are we gonna ever put a dent in that, you know, in that belief that these people are the good guys, you know, and their positions are just, and you know, it's frightening, honestly.
I can just let you know, as a sort of former order follower spouse, some of us give a shit and some of us did the right thing and left that situation. So some of us care to take action, even if it means personal, interpersonal, you know, changes. So I think that's what people fear the most, is like, oh, like it's your social network. Like, how would you ever go, like in one of your songs you talk about, you know, family and friends. I've had that too. I've had to sort of like recalibrate based on, you know, the moral choices of those around me, and like who's choosing to be willfully ignorant, who's not, etc., you know.
Yeah, and I don't want to associate. Like, you know, like I'm not gonna continue to come around and like pound this message in your head. Like, I'll say my piece. If you don't, you know, you're not gonna like even, you know, try to understand where I'm coming from and just stay stuck in your bullshit beliefs. Like, I just don't want to associate with you. That's cool. Go ahead, continue to believe what you want. You know, good luck with that. Just you know, leave me be. You know, I'd rather just be on my own. And I am. I'm a fucking loner. You know, there's really no one in my personal life that, you know, I fuck with. It's just me and my girl, essentially, against the world. You know?
And your daughter and Diesel. You now have John and I.
No, yeah, I know. I'm saying, like, you know, that I'm in, like, physical contact with, you know, I'm in close proximity to is essentially nobody, you know, and if they do understand, if I do have a friend or two that understand, they're not in it, you know, they don't get it to the extent like that I do, nor do they care to, you know what I'm saying? They don't have that care. It's along the lines of, yeah, I get it. No, I'm with you, but, you know, what can I do about it? And that's it. You know, so it's like, okay.
I think this is why I felt called to do this music festival, because I think, at least for me, music was such a way in to have those seeds planted and grow. I think, you know, there's only so far you can get through talking through that left-brained engagement. But when you involve both hemispheres with the music, like you said, like you feel more comfortable doing music, I think, because you know in your heart that you are engaging people differently than you would say in a sort of podcasting. We're podcasting right now, but you know what I mean? Like if you do that mode all the time, for example.
Yeah, and I like it because I don't have to fucking debate with anybody or argue with them. Like, to be honest, like I used to be more confrontational, and I've gotten in people's faces. My own mother, you know, I would get into crazy blowouts with her, my family members. Like I said, you know, other friends or whatever. Like, nah, I can't do it anymore. It's just like, I'd rather put the music out, say what I gotta say. I turn the comments off. It's my channel. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. You disagree with me, go ahead, start your own channel. Say what you got. Try to refute what I say. And, you know, good luck to you with that. I don't want to hear your fucking opinions. Here's what I got to say. I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to throw it out there. Do with it whatever the fuck you want. That's on you. That karma is on your soul. And that's it.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely. So I know that we've been on for an hour. Do you want to pick maybe the last song or two before we close out here?
Yeah, sure. Let me think.
I can also it could be whatever you want. Yeah,
how about Fuck Government? You have that queued up?
I do. Here we go. Yeah, that's a made sure to download that one. Here we go.
really good analogy to compare government to religion. It's not an analogy. It is a religion. It has a superhuman deity, government, that has rights that mortals don't. It issues commands, and if you disobey, you're a sinner, and you deserve to be punished. It doesn't play by the rules of mortals.
Hey yo, I ride slump when I bump. That anarchist hardcore pump. Pistol grip pump in the trunk. Don't give a fuck if a pig throw on his leg. Shit, I study natural law, bitch. I know my rights. I'ma fight for liberty and justice. Cause no, I don't trust this corrupted system of globalist muppets whose authority only exists to these foolish bastards. Only answer to the one I don't serve to masters. Stupid asses, parrot in the party line. Dumb enough to still fall for the left-right paradigm. Blind by their slogans, the party sets the stage. Choosing a ruler every 4 years don't make you any less a slave. Play term after term, time after time. A vicious cycle, the blind leading the blind. Too weak in the mind to see the design of their own prison. Well, there ain't no fool in this one. Fuck the whole system, man. Fuck government, come on. Yo, fuck government, fuck government. Say what? Fuck government, fuck government. Yeah, fuck government, fuck the government. Each and every one of them. Fuck government, come on. Yo, fuck government, fuck government. Say what? Fuck government, fuck government. Yeah, fuck government, fuck the government. Hey, yo, turn this shit the fuck up. Where's all my true anarchists at? Grab your gats, let these system ass lickers know you're strapped. Cause it frightens them that you know your rights and you're willing to die fighting them motherfuckers that try swiping them, striking them with logic, but they can't comprehend it. Full of contradictions that they won't stop defending, lying to themselves and they don't stop pretending. Afraid of truth and quick to get offended, so let's send them message to the sleeper, clinging to their chains, whose ignorance keeps us enslaved. A bunch of clowns that can't picture a world without a ruling class stealing our wealth and forcing us around. They don't trust humans to govern themselves, but yet trust a subset of the same humans to govern everyone else. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? This shit is puzzling. They shovel shit on them and they loving it. Say it with me now. Fuck government, come on. Yo, fuck government, fuck government. Say what? Fuck government, fuck government. Yeah, fuck government, fuck the government. Each and every one of them. Fuck government, come on. Yo, fuck government, fuck government. Say what? Fuck government, fuck government. Yeah, fuck government, fuck the government. Every single one of them. Yeah, fuck the motherfucking state and every brainwashed dumbass that supports it. Government is slavery, biatch.
Wow. In hearing the song for a second time, it felt almost like the instrumentals were like a moving machine sound, almost like clanking sort of sounds. Was that intentional?
No. I didn't make that. I didn't make that instrumental either. I purchased that.
Okay.
So, all of the instrumentals that you hear me on, they're either I purchased them or Diesel made some, like the one collabs I did with Diesel. I think he made a couple. Yeah, so that they're not mine. The only instrumentals that are mine are going to be on the new album with me and Diesel. I made a couple, he made a couple, so you'll finally get to hear what I'm capable of instrumentally, musically, that way. But but immediately once I heard that BS, the first thing that came to my head, like when around the chorus section, I'm like, dude, like it just came to me, and I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. That's gonna be a banger. We'll make that the anarchist freaking theme song right there.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's such a great song, and I think that's the one to maybe have us end on. Is there any sort of closing sort of statement or something that you want to share with our audience?
Sure. I'll say, listen, don't worry about anything because Trump is just playing 5D chess with the whole Epstein thing. He's going to save us all. Mass arrests are coming. We're going to be free and prosperous in no time. Trust the plan, all right? No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. You know, we talk about government and you know, and the belief in a dumbass belief in authority. And we point our fingers at them. But in all honesty, the biggest enemy is in your own head. You know, you are your biggest enemy. People got to work on themselves and get right with themselves, honestly. Get right with yourself, get right with the source, and, you know, reevaluate your belief systems, what you're doing, what you're supporting, what you're condoning, and step into your own power, you know. I mean, we're so fucking incredibly powerful. And that's honestly the basis of the whole conspiracy, the whole New World Order shit. Everything is predicated on the suppression of the knowledge of who and what we truly are, which is, you know, we're expressions of the source. We're expressions of the creator. And, you know, real quick, you know, I want to put this out there. You know, when I did my interview with Rick, with Crip Rick, I was still going through a lot of shit, and I was kind of, I think, you know, you could hear it if you listen to it. I was very, like, pessimistic and pissed off at the state of everything and just life overall. But as my life continues to unfold and things are getting better for me and things are falling into place for me, I was so turned off with the whole, like, concept of the fact that we are like creators. We can manifest. We have the ability to manifest our own little reality, and to a good extent, going through the experience that I went through, being bedridden for 2 years, like I was just like so turned off of any kind of spirituality, any kind of spiritual talk. Well, let me tell you something. Through that time period, there's times where I would meditate and I would have a vision for myself and where I would be, things I would be doing with my daughter and my girl. And behind that came action, you know, pulling myself out of bed after I got my surgeries and fighting through the pain and whatever discomfort I had left, working out, eating good, and putting the action forth to get my life back in order. Things are happening for me now that I visioned when I was laying sick in bed. And
Wow.
I mean, almost to the T. And
Wow.
it's scary. Like sometimes, like I'll when I leave my girl or my kid, I'll start, you know, I'll break down in the car, like, holy shit, like I vision that, you know, and it just showed me, like, you know, you got to stop looking outward for answers. Stop looking outward for God to come and save you, dude. It is in you. It is within you. You have the ability to transform your life. You have the ability to do, you know, incredible things. You know, we're so fucking powerful. And the world we live in right now is, again, it's just unacceptable. And it falls onto us. No one's coming to save us. No Jesus, no Buddha, no outside, no Donald Trump, no political saviors coming. It
Right.
falls onto us. We have the ability and the power to create whatever kind of reality we want here, regardless of who or what is running this shit.
Right.
You know, and it's got to start on an individual basis. You got to go within, know yourself. You know, like that is the theme from all the mystery schools throughout fucking history. Know thyself. On the know yourself and the power that you have, step into your power, and then do something about our situation. You know, join the fight. You know, in your own creative way, and let's change this shit before it's too fucking late, because it's just about to be. You know, so
Yeah.
that's really the message I want people to really understand. Like when you think about what's going on, and you think to yourself, well, what the fuck can I do about it? You could do everything about it. You know, you have the power to impact so many other people's lives, you know, in your own little personal sphere. And you could create something beautiful and leave something beautiful behind, you know, in this experience, in this temporary, brief experience that we're going through. So that's it. That's the message that I want to leave people with is just, you have incredible power and potential. So do something about it.
Wow. I needed to hear that today, that reminder that you just shared, that we're all connected to source and that we are the manifestors and creators. Um, am co-creating with people like you, with everyone involved with Soundpath. I've never run a music festival before, and here we are. It's happening. We're doing the interviews. We're booking the venue. We're selling the tickets. Like, we have T-shirts. You have a T-shirt, merch link, which we'll share. We're making things happen. We're manifesting, and I used to be uh, just random, cog in the machine listening to some podcasts once. And those words had an effect on me. And here I am today. So
Yeah, you see, you're creating it. You are literally manifesting what you vision. Like, this is what, like, the new age leaves out, is the action that you need to put behind it. You need a vision first. You
right.
need some kind of vision of yourself, what you want to accomplish, where you see yourself. But then you gotta fucking do something about it. You're not gonna just lay there and meditate and just be, and then picture something and then think it's gonna happen. You gotta put the fucking action behind it to make it happen. Just like you're doing. Like, you envision that conference, this festival coming up. You got it mapped out in your head, and you started to take the steps necessary to make it happen. And look, you're making it happen, and that's amazing. That's an amazing thing. It's for a great cause. There's going to be great people involved, and it's so powerful.
Thank you for co-manifesting, co-creating with me and John and everyone else at Soundpath. And thank you so much for today.
Thank
and for
you for
everything.
having me on, Jerry. It was an absolute pleasure. I hope to do it again soon, and looking forward to meeting you in person.
Yes, for sure. Thanks, everyone.
Peace.